From the title of the video, you already know what we're gonna do, so why wait? Here is the Mous contour case. I've been using it on my phone pretty much every day for, it's been about a week or two now since this case arrived. And I have a pretty positive review on it, spoiler alert. So sit back, wait, this is a group video. There always has to be something. There we go. There always has to be, well, not always. I'm running out of knives, so that's probably gonna change. Welcome to group. So the Mous contour case for the iPhone 11 Pro Max is, in my opinion, a win. You have a really small, a really thin case. You can see, I didn't show this in the last video. I don't think I can get it on camera. Do you see how that's bigger at the top and it tapers down in the middle and then it kind of flares back out at the edge? That's kind of what I was talking about. So being this is an excellent case, there are some problems with it. I'm very sad to say about it. Let's go ahead and start with the outside of the case. What's apparent with the outside? You got your little Mous logo right there. You have the port openings for your speakers and your lightning port on your phone. You have the SIM tray removal tool and 2 spaces for SIM cards. The buttons are pretty much the same as how the Limitless case is. One thing that I immediately noticed, here's another nitpick of mine. One of the nitpicks that I had with the Limitless case was how the back was pretty flat and it came down at a really sharp angle and it was kind of a pain to hold on to. This does a little bit better with that contour, as you can see, but do you see that little area right there of darker plastic? That is still kind of the angle that the Limitless case has. And also the leather sits a little bit below all of the plastic, so whenever you run your fingers over it, they catch on there. They catch on that plastic. You can definitely feel it. It feels like, I don't want to say that it feels like bad craftsmanship or bad quality. It just seems like they could have done a little bit better paying attention to detail to get that even with the plastic on there. But that's a nitpick that I have, and it's, it is what it is. I'm really picky because this case was, I think, $59.99. It's the same price as the Limitless case on the Mous website and on Amazon as well. This case has the same microfiber lining as the Limitless. It has the same, what is that? That's kind of like that's not microfiber. That's more like kind of a rubbery, it kind of, to be honest, that kind of feels like a rubber band. Not as tacky or sticky as a rubber band, but it definitely feels like some kind of rubber. Looking at the case everywhere, you can see that there's no ridiculous branding, how the Spigen cases had on it, except for down here. That's acceptable to me. If you have a good brand, you're trying to promote that brand, you got to have something that shows off your brand. Now let's take a look at how the iPhone 11 Pro Max looks inside this case. It's not a hard case to put your phone into. It definitely is snug, and I like that. There's no fit and finish issues here. It looks good to me, the blue and green. It's not the best, but it's reasonably okay. I think that's all right. Again, just to reiterate this, that also has the issue with the plastic being higher than the leather on the back. Speaking of the leather, it's pretty good. It's not as slick as the Apple leather case. Like whenever you get the cases, they're kind of a little bit slippery. Then as you use them more, they kind of get more grippy and tacky. The sides are about the same as what the Limitless case is. They have the same materials. So leather feels good. It sticks to your hand relatively well. It still kind of slips, but it's okay. Big negative point for me. This is my biggest issue with the contour case. I don't know if this is just me or if this is how all the contour cases are. I'm about to ask Amazon or ask Mous if this is how they build the contour cases, because it really is an issue for me. If you remember the Spigen cases, the liquid crystal and the, what was the other one? Ultra Hybrid S, not X. Their buttons were a little bit squishy. These buttons, I don't want to say it, but they're kind of terrible. See how far you have to push in? You can see that plainly. That I'm pushing it, the button isn't even actuating right now. It's still, it hasn't triggered anything. So it has to go that far down, then it will click. And that's a problem whenever you're using the phone, because if you want to hit the volume or the power button, the sleep wake button, you can't really hit it with your thumb. You either have to get it at an angle and mash it in there with your nail, or you have to get it perfectly on top of the button. You can't have your hand like you're lazily picking it up and want to wake it. It doesn't work. You have to push your finger in there, and I do not like that about this case. More than likely, I am going to contact Mous about it just to ask them if that's something, because the Limitless case does not have that issue. One person asked me in the comments before if there was a way to Dremel this out. I think it would be possible. I'm not the greatest Dremel worker. I think you could probably get it done, but my worry would be getting too close to the lightning port. The speakers, they have enough room right here, but being that the lightning port, the thing that covers the top of the lightning port, I don't know if you'd have enough. You'd probably have to make a judgment call on that one. So pros about this case overall, it's a nice case. The people that I've showed this case to, even my wife, she's one of the critics that I trust a lot. She said whenever she held this, she immediately liked this. On the other hand, when she tried the Limitless case, she did not like that. She said it was too bulky and it felt like a brick, and I agree with her. So slim design, that's always good. You have the leather on the back, which I wish they had some other choices. I don't love this blue leather. I think they had red and the regular brownish leather. White, I would be interested in white, but I think that this would get dirty way too fast. I've been using this case every day, and in my opinion, the blue looks pretty good. It's toned down. It's a good blue color. I do like that. Cons about this case would definitely be the volume, the switches, the cutouts for the sleep wake button and the volume buttons. On this one, the Limitless case did not have that in the center. Another nitpick, not a big deal about how this case functions at all. But this one cosmetically looks good. That button is in the middle of that cutout, which is nice. And another small con I would say is how this hangs off, that if you're trying to hold the phone, no, don't call them. If you want to hold the phone in your hand, you can feel, or at least I can, you can feel that edge, that lip right there whenever you're holding it. And it does kind of irritate me. I would prefer it just either if the leather reached all the way to the side so you didn't feel that on the back of the phone. Even if the plastic was covering this and you didn't have the leather on that bend right here, I think that would even be a little bit better. I feel like this is probably just an inlay. It's probably paper thin, kind of like how Apple does. So I think if you're looking for a protective case, the iPhone leather probably isn't going to protect your phone as well as this is, especially how they advertise this phone case. And if this one holds up the way that they say it does, then this one will probably be the better case for protection. But if you want something that feels excellent, like butter in your hand, that's going to be the Apple leather case. Thanks for watching another video of my ramblings. I hope this was at least a little bit informative to you, so you're able to make a decision on what case to get. I can fully recommend the Contour case, hands down. You can leave a like at the bottom of the video. If, I don't really know if that really does anything, just kind of inflates my ego a little bit, saying, oh, look how many people like my video. But if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments. I've been liking answering all the questions that people have. I want to be able to help people make a decision on what case that they would like for their phone. And since not everybody is able to try the cases out before they get them, that's a big deal too. That's why I watch YouTube reviews, just to see a little bit more. I want to see the close-ups of the phone, how it looks in person, not just the advertising shots of it. That's the reason I like making these videos. So if you have any questions, comments, let me know. And any future videos, if you want to see a certain case, I've had a lot of people ask about the Rhino Shield cases, so I'll probably pick one of those up and compare them to the Mous cases. So hang around, maybe subscribe if you'd like, so you can see what else. I don't think I'm going to stick with phone videos. I'm into flashlights too. I'm into different kind of pens. Obviously, I'm into those little guys. So who knows what this channel is going to become. Maybe it'll become just a general review channel. We did have plans on making interviews or a round table that everybody in our group would be able to try the item, the case in this instance, because everybody's going to have a different opinion of it. Some people might not even notice that this has the lip there. Other people might not notice how the buttons are extremely difficult and annoying to press. That's why you got to take everything with a grain of salt whenever you watch these videos. This is Kay signing off. Lights out.